And with a higher number of hurricanes than average expected this year, it's important now more than ever to understand how to keep you and your family safe. If you are advised to evacuate, do not ignore the warnings. And before that happens, know where you will go, how you will get there. For those in mobile homes and RVs, they are not safe shelters. And you should be prepared to live without power, water, and gas in the days and weeks that follow. The season brings additional questions as government budgets tighten and FEMA faces drastic cuts. So what additional preparations should you make? With us now is Hena, the Director of Operations for Team Rubicon. Drew, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I want to start in the frame of mind of someone not getting government help or not being fully insured, which is a lot of Americans. With your significant time in the field, Drew, what do people need to know if they live in those areas that we were talking about?
Well, you highlighted the most important things, and that's knowing when and how to evacuate, having a way to receive warnings and knowing your evacuation zone, knowing where your nearest emergency storm shelter is, and then having your go bag packed and ready to go. If you need medication, if you have a pet, making sure that you're incorporating those things into your planning is critically important. We also know some folks may not be able to evacuate or may be in an area that's impacted unexpectedly. So we recommend that everybody have on hand some emergency supplies to carry them through if they're impacted by the storm. That includes, having a gallon of water per person per day for at least like 3 to 5 days worth of supplies, as well as some non-perishable food items so that they can survive any unexpected disruptions to their lives.
What is your advice to those who live in flood zones or near the Gulf Coast, Drew?
Well, they need to pay particular attention to those evacuation warnings. Typically, the storm surge from hurricanes is the most deadly aspect from the impacts from these storms. Make sure that they are able to get to higher ground and make sure that they're prepared to protect their homes. That means covering windows and doors with plywood so that if the storm does come their way, they're protected from the damage.
Yeah, I'm looking at this graphic that our team made. Really great tips there. Team Rubicon is a veteran-led nonprofit organization, among other things. Your team puts boots on the ground to help those in need. Can you break down exactly what your organization does to help all these different communities?
Absolutely. And typically in the days before a storm makes landfall, we're preparing marshaling resources, putting people so they're prepared to go in as soon as the storm has passes. We have what we call a route clearance team, which goes in immediately after the storm. They have chainsaws and heavy equipment. They open roadways, driveways, help people who are trapped in their homes get out, and help emergency responders get into those affected communities. And then we're there for days, weeks, this time months after Helene and Milton, helping people get back to normal. So that's getting storm damaged materials out of their house, getting vegetative debris off their roofs, off their driveways, and helping to tarp and board up windows so that they can move back into their homes as quickly as possible and get back to normal.
What is Team Rubicon doing differently this year, Drew, compared to the past as the federal government is tightening its financial belt?
It's definitely something we're paying very close attention to. We actually have an exercise we're running next week with our staff and volunteers to prepare our response protocols. But regardless of whatever happens with FEMA, we're going to be standing by and ready to help after a storm.
Every year, every storm, we hear stories of people either ignoring evacuation warnings or just getting them too late. If someone finds themselves in the middle of a storm, what do you do?
The most important thing that you can do if you are in a storm and you are unable to evacuate from your home is to get to the most secure part of that home. So that's an interior room that's away from windows, that's away from doors. Have sturdy things around you, away from all of the things that might fall off a wall, or if there's a penetration to a window that you're not affected by it, and then to not go outside during the storm. That eye that passes over can lull people into a false sense of security. They think the storm is over, and in reality, the back half of the storm is coming their way. So waiting until that all clear before they try to get out of their home and get to another location.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.